Hey, 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 hey. Oh. Yes, all right. Please join the live. I'm not sure how long this is gonna be, because I believe my mic is broken, guys. That's really pissing me off. But I'm actually gonna do a volume check on it real quick. So let me see how this goes. I'll see. All right, guys. So yeah, unfortunately, jeez Louise, and I'm pretty sure my mic just broke, bruh. Like I'm pretty sure it just broke because sometimes I don't know why Yeti mics do this, but like you'll tighten them up on the sides here, and then they'll still if you pick them up and you just like move them around or not, like the screws will like loosen up, right? Unless you're tightening them all the way. So I tightened this all the way and it just loosened up and it fell back and it hit the mount stanchion that it's on because it's held together by a mount stanchion. It just fell back and I swear that's what, because it's not the first time it did that, but I've had this mic for like 10 years. Holy crap. And it's fallen back like maybe like less than 4 times. And it just did it yesterday and it fell back yesterday. And that's why when I was creating that short, my last short, you can hear like the ringing in the mic. I promise you guys this thing just broke yesterday. Oh my gosh. So I'm really sorry if you guys hear the stirring and the whirring of the mic. I'm thinking of like just muting it whenever I'm like doing something or searching for trying to pull up a link or something like that so you guys don't hear like the whirring all the time because I know how annoying that can be. I think I'm willing to bet that every time I speak as long as I'm speaking, maybe it like dies down a little bit, but this is so bad. I'm so like I promise y'all, if I take a pause like within the live stream, I'll try to mute it for you guys because yeah. Oh my gosh. This thing just broke, man. Like I'm gonna have to get I know I'm gonna have to get another one because it's one of those things where it's like I don't think it's gonna go away. Like I can try to like bang it around and see if I can see if it goes back to normal, but I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Classy ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the live stream. It's your boy Hendrix. Lil W recap since Mondays we don't have any games like that. Just wanted to go over some of the recent news, some of the recent happenings in the WNBA. What I think, as the WNBA is leading to the playoffs, we got about August, September. Playoffs start somewhere around mid September, correct? Mid to late September. So we got about August, September. So we got about 2 months left of the WNBA regular season. I think we're looking at about 16 to 17, maybe 17 to 18 games left for these teams. We're going to take a look at the standings, cover this recent news regarding Nafisa Collier's injury and the trade news, which I don't know how Minnesota pulled this off, but I think this recent trade for Minnesota is probably one of the best moves I've seen a contending champion, a contending championship team has ever made ever in sports. And I don't know how they pulled it off because they really traded They traded a sixth player of the year, even though I'll still call that debatable. Um, but one of the premier perimeter guards in the W to bolster the Lynx' team. And if you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, I did say that I think, knowing that the Minnesota Lynx were going to run it back with the same squad, I did say that I think they need a couple. They don't really have like Minnesota, even though they're a well-oiled machine. Obviously, like their engine is Nafisa Collier, but I think I said, I forgot how I said it, but I did say at the beginning of the season that I think the Minnesota Lynx, if they can get like a guard, like a premier guard that can just help run the team, like really be a focal point of the offense, because what Courtney Williams did last. Not saying that Courtney Williams played bad or anything like that, but sometimes Courtney Williams, what she was doing in the finals, was kind of like it wasn't as composed as I think like the starting PG for that team should be. You feel me? And then there's certain times in the games where she was gas and Tish would have to come in, and I'm just like, Court, you're only gassed because you just tried to go 1v4 against the entire Liberty lineup in the front court, and not one of your teammates even made it past half. So it's like I thought that they needed a little bit more bolstering at that guard spot. Again, not saying that they're playing badly, not saying that Courtney Williams is playing badly or Kayla McBride's playing badly, but they really are like role specific type players. And I feel like if you could get like a true floor general at that one spot, I feel like you really then balance out the Lynx team because your forwards are good to go, even though yeah, your forwards are good to go because Jessica Shepard has been a really good stand-in for the Minnesota Lynx, even though they're missing Dorka Juhas. It really is Alana Smith and Nafisa Collier and Jay Shep, but Jay Shep has really been doing an excellent job. But outside of your forwards, the only other players you have to rely on are your guards because you don't have wings like that. Like Bridget Carlton is role specific as well. You know, she's not so much a Gabby Williams type player or a Gabby Williams type wing. She's more so like a Leonie Phoebish type wing, you know? So like a 3-and-D type player. So the only position you Minnesota really has to rely on outside of their forward presence are their guards. Courtney Williams is one of the premier guards, absolutely, but I just felt like her decision making kind of made me iffy moving on like further into the season because I was just like, I don't. Can you do the if you walk into the finals doing that crap again? I don't think it's gonna fly. You feel me? So I haven't watched too much Lynx basketball. I really just watch every game I possibly can. But the Lynx have been like whooping ass all season that I just certain games I'm not gonna watch. Like I'm not gonna watch the Lynx versus the Valks. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch the Lynx versus the Sky. You know what I mean? So even though they make for entertainment, it's just like what are we doing? You know? So I always thought that the Lynx needed maybe maybe a presence or a bigger presence at the guard spot, but they're bringing in Dejanay Carrington. So let's go ahead and Dejanay Carrington, she was traded, sorry, from the Dallas Wings to the Minnesota Lynx in exchange for Carly Samuelson and Diamond Miller. And in order to, I think that was it, right? Hold on, let me check the news real quick. How do I find the news? Oh, there it is. Actually, um, all right. Sorry, I was just I wanted to mute so you guys wouldn't hear the ringing as I'm looking for something. Like any pause I make in the stream, I'm gonna mute so you guys don't hear the ringing. So Carly Samuelson, Diamond Miller traded from the links to the wings, and then in making space for Diamond Miller and Carly Samuelson, even though the wings just I believe they waive Carly Samuelson, but they're still going to be working with her on her rehab and recovery. They waived Tierra Tierra McCowan, who is on a protected veteran contract, so she's still going to get paid, which I guess is a good thing. But this is actually really big for the Dallas Wings because I think for the past couple of seasons they've been trying to make that big lineup work when they've had mad forwards on the Dallas Wings for years, and it's almost as if like we're done. We're moving on from that. Even though they have Giselle Soder and Lee Yarou, I think I even made a tweet about this a couple weeks ago where I said I think the Dallas Wings just need to stick with unless you can get a drafted player, maybe trade for another big. I don't know how Dallas is going to pull in another big. I don't think they're going to, but stick with Lee Yarou. Lee Yarou, her management team was, not even management team, her country was looking for her to get more minutes. So stick with her because I think she's also worth it anyway. And Giselle Soder is one of the best players, one of the best overseas players as well. So I think she'll fit. I think those two will actually fit in really well with the Dallas system and around Page especially. Like I feel like those players, those that front court developing with Page is actually going to be pretty solid. That kind of gives me not so much UConn vibes, but it gives me like college structure vibes because I don't know if their head coach is going to be there next season, but I do believe that Page can like actually build like really strong chemistry with Lee Rue and Giselle Soder. So it seems like Dallas has moved on from their like all bigs era though. You feel me? Like when they had the Wakuir, Satu, Natasha Howard, Kalani Brown, Tierra McCowan. Remember when they just had mad bigs? It's almost as if like the last pillar is just fallen. So now Tierra McCowan's gone. That's it. Like Dallas no longer running that shit. You feel me? I low key forget that 2 years ago, so 2023, Diamond Miller was Diamond Miller was second overall pick in 2023. Who was the first? The first was Aaliyah, right? How the hell Diamond go second? I don't. What do we think about real quick? Even though this is a random tangent, before we get back to Dijonai, what do we think about Diamond Miller? Like, do we think she's underdeveloped, not getting enough shine? Do you think she's gonna thrive in Dallas? What do we think of Diamond Miller's ceiling? Cause I'm not sure, bro. I just watching her with the Lynx. I know she didn't get too much playing time. I thought she could have been like a nice role player for the Lynx, but watching her play, I was just like, I don't remember Diamond Miller being this like, you know, you know what I mean? Like I don't remember her being this. You almost like look useless out there. Like I don't want to say like maybe she is role specific as well, but I don't know. What do we think of Diamond Miller? I really don't know. Anyway, hopefully she progresses and develops a little bit more with Dallas. Um, we'll see how that goes. But Carly Samuelson waived by the Wings. Tierra McCowan waived by the Wings. I believe they're going to keep Diamond Miller, and the Lynx pick up Dejanay Carrington. This is such a great move. This is such a great move for the Lynx. Seriously, this really is. This, like they say, the rich get richer. This is huge because it's crazy how these moves are becoming so clutch for these teams, because you lose Brianna Stewart with the Liberty, and then you get Emma Mieseman replacing. Now, obviously, Emma Mieseman's gonna have some time trying to get used to the system and whatnot, but it's not a bad replacement for someone like Brianna Stewart, right? And then you lose Nafisa Collier for a couple of weeks. excuse me, I'll say they said she's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So just call that injury 3 weeks. The way Nafisa Collier rolled her ankle in the game against the Aces, call that a 3 week recovery. The way she rolled that, call that a 3 week recovery. I don't think Nafisa Collier is going to be playing basketball again until what is it, August 5th. I don't think she's going to be playing basketball till like at least August 21st. She's going to be out. Like she's going to be out. I'd say call it 3 weeks. So maybe beginning of September they're gonna run her in a few games, let her get her stamina, let her get her legs back under her, and then just like coast for the rest of the season into the playoffs. But I don't. Yeah, I don't expect Nafisa Collier to come back early. And respect to both teams, the Lynx and the Indiana Fever, because they're taking their time with Caitlin Clark as well. The Fever have won 5 straight without Caitlin Clark. So I really think they're now like truly taking their time with Caitlin Clark. The way Natasha Howard's playing, Kelsey Mitchell's playing, Ari McDonald is playing, even while in grad school, they're going to take their time with the Fever because they're almost going to deploy Caitlin Clark like a super sub, right? But I really, even though we're off on a tangent again, I really think like Stephanie White needs to reevaluate. And the crazy thing is, I wish more people were in the chat to hear this, but remember at the beginning of the season where I remember not even beginning of the season. Remember last year when I said they need to treat Caitlin Clark not as the star of the team. Like don't expect her to come in to the Indiana Fever and backpack the Fever like she did for the Iowa team. Remember when I said she needs to come in and just be a bigger piece, as in use her gravity to make the team excel more? Remember when I said that? I did say Caitlin Clark needs to be a put her in the system. Don't try to make her the system. Put her in the system and everything would probably flow better. I did say that. I did say that. I forget which video I said it in, but it was a video format because I wasn't really live streaming back then. So go check my earlier videos from last year from her debut season. And I did say put her in the system, don't make her the system. All right, so you can't say I didn't say that. But anyway, back to the links, back to Dijonai. Let me pull up the roster real quick. This works because now Dijonai again, Nafisa is going down. The defense, as we all know, is probably going to go down a little bit. But now you're bringing in Dijonai Carrington, who, I mean, in Dallas she was playing the three. I don't know what they're doing in Dallas, but like I said, I told y'all I don't care about Dallas. I've never cared about Dallas. The only reason like I really have any sort of feelings towards Dallas is because Paige is there, and I don't even think she was supposed to be there anyway, because the WNBA don't know how to pull an NBA. But I do think Paige might be able to save Dallas if they give her the keys. Really, they need to give her the keys. Just let her be the coach. The same way how everyone thinks LeBron is the coach anyway. Like let Paige actually be the coach. Like I feel like her play calling might be a little bit more. Yeah, I'll leave that alone. But this is what the Minnesota Lynx's roster is looking like: Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, Jessica Shepard, Kayla McBride, Anastasia Kosu, Maria Kliundikova, Natisha Heidemann, Fisa Collier, Dijonai Carrington, Bridget Carlton, and Yvonne Anderson. I don't know when Yvonne Anderson got on this team, bro. I must have missed that. But either way, it kind of works out for Minnesota. You're going to be missing the engine on your team, but at least you're replacing her in terms of defensive presence wise. I don't know how I feel about like calling Dijonai Carrington a two-way guard. She can get you a bucket, that's good, but I feel like she's more of a utility player. But it's a good thing. It's trust me, it's a good thing when you have a player that might be able to get you maybe 8 to 10 points a game, and she's a utility player. Now she hasn't been shooting the best this season. She's been shooting 35% this season. She has missed games, 35% from the field, 26% from three. So she's finding her way. this season, especially dealing like with injury. But we all know she can pop off for a couple good games. All she really needs to do is be able to hit maybe go one of three or one of two from the perimeter, and then just like lock up defensively. And I think the Lynx will appreciate her time and her effort because now you have to contest on the perimeter. If you can at least stifle teams on the perimeter and try to alleviate some of the pressure on the front court, which you no longer have. It's basically Alana Smith by herself now. You're probably going to start Jessica Shepard, but the way Alana Smith be getting banged up every game, bro, I just hope nothing happens to her. But geez, Louise, good golly, Miss Molly, Alana Smith be getting beat. It's not funny because can we shout out Alana Smith real quick? Can we shout out Alana Smith real quick? Because Alana Smith be putting in work. She's one of the most underrated players in terms of being like the stabilizer for her team. Alana Smith be getting beat up, bro. Every time I turn on the TV to watch a link, somebody hit Alana. She on the ground, so she limping up, walking to the other side of the court. I'm like, oh my lord, but she don't get injured. So she just be taking mad shots. Like, somebody help Alana Smith, please. Just alleviate her pain. She has to. I will say this: come playoff time, because you don't have a backup five. I think Alana Smith might be a point of attack for certain teams. If I was game planning, I would be attacking. I would have Alana Smith in a lot of different coverages. I keep Fee as far away from Alana Smith as possible because they do play well off each other, offensively and defensively. But the crazy thing is, I don't even think Nafisa Collier and Alana Smith really. They're not even as tapped in as you think a 4-5 like them would be. I feel like as a tandem, they're underachieving. Seriously, apart from the defense, I just feel as a tandem, like they really don't. I don't know. I just don't get the vibe that they like play off each other well. I think it looks like on defense they're more in sync, but on offense it's just like think Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic. That's what I thought. Like that's how I see like Alana Smith and Nafisa Collier should be. But more so of the time, it's like more so just Nafisa. Like imagine like Jokic just taking more of the shots instead of dumping it off to Aaron Gordon. Like I feel like it's just Nafisa isoing a little bit more. But I feel like that tandem hasn't really been tapped into as much as it could be. But expect the Lynx to win some games, being more contested games because their front court is not that. Like I said, if Jessica Shepard's probably going to start at the four, right? Right, I think. Four, Alana Smith, Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Bridget Carlton. Are you going to start Dijonai? You can't start Dijonai. Maybe you can start Dijonai depending on how Bridget Carlton wants to play. But then you take off the 3-point shooting unless you want to rock with Courtney Williams and Kayla McBride taking up the load of the 3-point shooting and putting in Dijonai Carrington for perimeter purposes. So I don't know if Dijonai Carrington starts. I think and knowing Coach Reeve, Dijonai is probably going right back into the bench role. She's probably going right back into the bench role. So I don't know if she starts. I don't know if she starts, but the Lynx have their work cut out for them. Introducing a new player, again a top tier player, but introducing a new player, losing your forward, and you're already like stricken for forwards as it is. Damn, the Lynx streaking. How many wins in a row is this? Oh, I was looking at the wrong. Jeez. I was just like, yo, how did I miss this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 6 out of their last 7 games have been W's. Let's see who the Lynx are. Wait, where's their schedule? Oh, sorry, no. July. Wait. Oh, this was Commissioner's Cup. Okay. Yeah, six of their last seven games have been W's. Upcoming for the Lynx, they got the Seattle Storm, the Washington Mystics, New York, New York, New York. Boy, what the helly? What the hell? What the Halliburton? What the Halle Berry? They play the New York Liberty three times in a row. August 10th, August 16th, and August 19th. What in the what in the finals practice? What the series? What the serial? And then it's Atlanta, Indiana twice, Seattle again, Connecticut, Dallas, Vegas, Golden State, Indiana, Golden State. Hmm. They have an interesting schedule. Not too many weak opponents to end the season. So they're definitely going to miss Nafisa Collier against New York. That should be interesting. If New York isn't blowing them out in all three games, um, we could go ahead and pack ourselves up. If we don't injured or not, if we don't blow out the Lynx in all three of these games, pack us up. This right here, this little three-game stint will tell you who's going to win the WNBA championship this season. Yes, yes, even though Nafisa Collier won't be there, maybe Brianna Stewart won't be there. We don't know what the libs are going to look like. If we don't pack the Lynx up in all three games, do you hear what I'm telling? I don't care who's hurt. I don't care who's hurt because we hurt too. If we don't pack the Lynx up, and you can make the argument we're missing our best player. I don't even know who y'all consider the best player on the Liberty. Is it Sab? Is it JJ? Is it Stewie? Y'all put in the chat who you think the best player on the Liberty is because every time someone else gets injured, then we hear it's like, oh, they're the best player. Liberty need them. It's just like I don't even know who y'all consider the best player on the Liberty. But I'm telling y'all right now, if we get dunced in any one of these three game stands, because where are we? What the hell? What the hell? So we play in New York on August 10th. Sorry, yeah, we play in New York on August 10th. We go to Minnesota on August 16th, and then we're back in New York on August 19th. I don't know what that shit's about. Who? No, we already knew the WNBA schedule was cooked anyway. But this is so stupid. Either way, we get a free finals practice. This ain't F1, but listen, we need to we need to mod out the links in all three of these games. If any of these games are hot or close contested, my confidence will go right back down to where it was last year before the finals. You know, it'll go right back down. And by the way, even though I was right, remember my prediction. Remember my prediction was right. My prediction was right last year. Remember I said Liberty in five? I did say that. I did say that, but I thought it was over in game one because I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Lynx. But really, the Lynx sold. Everyone sold. Remember I said like everyone sold in the finals? Like everyone sold in the finals. The Lynx weren't playing like the Lynx. The Liberty were playing exactly how I expected the Liberty to play. The coaching was not the best on either side. And then you end game five in controversy because the refs, for some reason, you wanted to be stupid. Like the finals was just, from my point of view, the finals was such a clusterfuck. It just was it was so stupid. None of the stuff that I thought was going to happen happened, but I still predicted the end correctly. But I'm looking this year, bro. The crazy thing about this year, I feel like one of these teams, even though everyone thinks we're gonna get a New York Minnesota finals again, I have a feeling one of these teams ain't gonna be there. Like I have a feeling one of these teams is not going to be there, dog. That's just Someone's not gonna be there, or by the time someone, by the time they do meet each other, everybody banged up. So it it might not even matter. But I feel like a lot of other teams outside of the Lynx have had great momentum the entire season. Liberty, we're trying to get that back, but teams like Atlanta, Indiana, these teams are picking up momentum very quickly. I'm not worried about a Seattle. I'm not worried about a Phoenix. I'm really not. If they want to take the Lynx out, please feel free. Go ahead. I'm not worried about. Yeah, they got. I'm not. The gamble is. Do you are you guys like banking on these teams figuring out what they need to figure out by the time the playoffs roll around? Because I can tell you right now, I think the reason why Satu was out with for personal reasons on Sunday was because she cussed somebody out. I'm willing to bet she cussed somebody out. So now everyone's speculating on Twitter and social media about what's going on in Phoenix and yada yada, and if Satu's pulling a Dewana. Somebody left a hilarious comment on Twitter. Someone said, "Oh, they had a post about Satu being out for personal reasons." I think it was on the Underdog Twitter account, and someone said she don't want to be there. And I was like, "Bruh, no." I was like, "Yo, no." And then some other people are saying like, "Okay, if she didn't want to be there, why was she like hyping up the crowd when they were hyping up the or jarring at the jabbing at the Indiana crowd when they were like making fun of or trying to go at Dewana Bonner?" And I'm like, okay, that's a good point too, but that could also be that Satu is always on 10 when she plays. Hell, Satu always on 11 when she plays. But is Dewana Bonner coming to the team upsetting? Like, I just don't get this thread where people think Dewana Bonner on the Phoenix Mercury is upsetting Satu Sabali. I don't get what people. I don't get why people are thinking that's a thing. Like, I can understand it, but I'm also like, why would they? What would they be feuding about? What would they be beefing about? Like, Satu hasn't been playing well in a couple of games, and Dewana Bonner isn't responsible for Satu's energy. If your coach is benching you for your energy, that's you. I know Satu always plays every game on 11 to the point where it looks like she's about to slap somebody just for fouling her. So if that energy isn't there, how are we gonna blame that on Dewana? Is maybe she upset with, or maybe she's a little antsy or anxious about Dewana Bonner taking some of her playing time or the role on the team, her shots? Was she so locked into figuring it out with Kalia Copper, Alyssa Thomas, that now introducing Dewana Bonner, she feels like inconvenience? I can understand that. I could understand that. But feeling inconvenience to the point of like feuding or just like not giving a F anymore? Huh. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. Let me think about that for a second, because I do think Satu was really happy to come to Phoenix. I do think she was like super happy to come to Phoenix. I think Phoenix welcomed her well. I think she's happy to be in Phoenix. I really do think so. I think she's happy to be in Phoenix. I don't think one player coming there would f up her vibe like that, unless it was something like a little bit more major going on or something more heavy going on. I just don't see one player messing up. Like, okay, one player comes to the team, the vibe gets thrown off, and now Satu's like, "Oh, I don't like Phoenix anymore." I don't really see that. I do sense that Satu knows Phoenix isn't home, and I'm just going off of her social media personality. I do think, like, just watching some of her stories, I feel like she's enjoying her time there, but she knows it isn't necessarily home. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think she's happy to be there. She's happy. She's in a place where she's appreciated and welcomed, but it's not necessarily home. Like that's not really where her heart is. I'm not saying any of this to say that this is why Satu is in my guess is cussing out the coach or not showing up to practice or something like that. Satu definitely seems like the type to not show up to practice. Like coach take her out one game, bench her. You know, I'm not coming to practice. I get it. I want shit. I'll take the personal rest. I'll take out for personal reason too. I'm telling you right now, the CBA gonna kick that shit out. If the WNBA actually does sign off on a reasonable CBA and the CBA that they want, and the NBA stops playing with them, that personal reason that shit's gonna get kicked. The way the W uses personal reasons is like the way the NBA uses load management, bro. That shit is going to be kicked. All these out for personal reason, and it's not like for rest for like an injury or injury precaution. Because if you look at New York, a lot of our players they're out for like injury precaution. Caitlin Clark's out for injury precaution. You know what I mean? So that personal reason shit's gonna be kicked in the next CBA. That's just my guess. That's my prediction. I just don't see like I'm not concerned about Phoenix because so many teams have again, this is why I think so many teams have stuff to figure out by playoff time. But I feel like the teams like Indiana, the teams like Atlanta that are like picking up steam and picking up momentum, almost all these players are banged up and whatnot. But I do feel like the teams that are still winning, putting pieces together, finding a way to work without having some of their best players. Those teams come playoff time, I feel like think about it, because come playoff time, you're like, oh, shoot. It's like tired, we got to throw the whole regular season away. Now we got to lock into this bigger goal. Having your star player or one of your star players come back into the team as playoff time or around playoff time is starting is like, it can be like a jolt of energy. You feel me? It could be like, it can like alleviate some of the pressure and be like, okay, now I don't have to shoulder all of this responsibility that I've been shouldering for the past 2 months. You see what I'm saying? The Liberty going to have that effect as well. The Lynx are going to have that effect. So you're really the Lynx effect. So you're really going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4 teams. 4 out of 5 of the top teams currently, you're going to have them bringing back some of their star players or their star player. Atlanta missing Ryan Howard. Indiana missing Caitlin Clark. New York missing Stewie right now, or just injuries all over the place. We're missing Stewie, Kennedy Burke, Niara. We're missing our bench. We're missing our star player, one of our star players. Minnesota missing Nafisa. A lot of teams, depending on how they're playing now, they're going to ride into the postseason and they're going to get like an extra shot of energy as these players come back, which is why I think if you can take the right momentum with a team and the right rejuvenation, one of these two teams in terms of Lynx and Liberty are getting knocked out. I think have a really good chance of getting knocked out. And it's not because that team's not good. It's just that the other team might have more going for them. So their spirit is going to be harder to break in the playoffs. Remember, a lot of teams feel the pressure of the playoffs. It's a very different, teams that feel the pressure are very different from teams that embrace that pressure, that are like happy to be together now. There's a very different team, like teams that are like, you remember last year in the 2024 NBA Finals, where you know how I knew we were winning the 2024 NBA Finals. Remember, I said Celtics in 5, right? Know how I knew we were winning that, and I made this prediction before that happened. I made that prediction before this happened. But when Kristaps came back and they announced Kristaps was coming back, and it was game 1, and he ran out onto the court and he was like hype, and the fans were cheering. Like this was during shoot around, and the fans were cheering, and he was hype. And he was like hyping him up too. He was like amped up with him too. He was like, he was happy to be there, right? He was like, ladies, just like, yo, I'm ready to go. I'm pumped up. That's very different from a player running out like focused, like worried, a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. When you're in an environment that's high pressure and you embrace that, that can mentally like destroy some of your opponents. When your opponents see that, oh shoot, you having fun. You having fun. We're all supposed to be locked in and you over here like eating Skittles on the bench. Like you're having fun right now? I must be doing something wrong. Or you must know something that I don't. Like it can mentally like mess with your opponents if you come into an environment of heavy pressure and be I'm ready for it. Like throw me the next workout. It's almost like the person who's like in a workout group and everyone dead tired and the one person is like, yo, throw me the next workout. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready for this circuit. It's just like, yo, what he have for breakfast? It's like, nah, I don't want to work out with you. Nah, you on 10, bro. I need to let the instructor give us a rest. Jeez, what are you on? You go work out yourself since you have that much energy. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like if you when you get that rejuvenation from your star player or players coming back and now you have a full squad, a lot of teams will probably be in a place of embracing the pressure or welcoming this final chapter in the season because now they have everyone. They know what they're capable of doing without said superstar. It's just a different confidence booster. So now you have these teams walking into the playoffs riding high on confidence. They don't have any time for pressure. You see what I'm saying? So now okay, it's the Lynx. All right, got it. We know it's the Lynx. We got to beat the best to be the best. So, but they're now they're going into that, or we're facing the Liberty. Now they're going into that. Hey, look, you got to beat the best to be the best. But look what we got. Look what we did. And we got our star player back, and we got our players back, and we're full strength right now. They might be a little beat up. Confidence could take you far, man. A lot of these teams might be running high off confidence. They might be running high off confidence come playoff time. Again, I'm still not sure still not sure where the Phoenix Mercury are and all of that, but yeah. Is there any yeah, I'm not really convinced with the Phoenix Mercury, but maybe we save the Satu drama and for another time. But it's so hard to tell because I guess I guess there aren't many outlets for women's basketball for the WNBA, so we don't really know what. You know what I'm saying? Like when Dewana Bonner was out with the fever, like the only information we can get is from her coach. You know, like if it was NBA media outlets, you'd hear someone say, "Well, sources tell us that this player is disgruntled. They're not happy with the fit, yada yada, so and so." Like we don't really get that with the WNBA and with WNBA media, so we low key do have to sit here unless damn near we get more inside tips from fans at the games recording like the small interactions with the players and compared to some of like some media outlets. It's almost as if some of these media outlets need to start giving these courtside fans or these fans in the stadium like media credentials because they damn near giving us more insight. They damn near are the source. What you mean? They are the source. So it's like I just wish we knew. So I don't want to speculate too much, but I really am trying. I think I'm trying to understand first before I start making claims. I think I am on that wavelength. Like I just understand. I the first time I like my ears perked up to this was just seeing that Satu Sabli was out for personal reasons. And I always look at personal reasons like, huh. Especially after that Dewana Bonner shit. So I'm always looking at personal reasons like whose birthday party you attending? Because one thing about W, they will stretch them personal reasons like PTO, boy. So I'm just like, is it personal reasons? Because you gotta. Mhm. What was you doing last night? Personal reason? Where was you last night? We better not see no videos on Twitter popping out about where you was last night. It's like personal reasons. Personal reasons. So I saw personal reasons for Satu, and then I saw people in the comments talking about, um, Satu beefing with Joanna Bonner, or like she don't like her role or something like that. And then they were explaining Coach Tibbetts benching Satu. What game was that? I believe it was the game against Atlanta, correct, where Satu was benched. And Coach Tibbetts, I think on the presser, said that he didn't like Satu's energy, and then next thing you know, she's out for personal reasons. So again, I'm not sure what that has to do with Dewana. Like, could it just be that Satu just had a moment where she just popped off? She played 12 minutes. She played 12 minutes in that game against the Atlanta Dream. Excuse me. Now, keep in mind the Atlanta Dream were still without Ryan Howard. This was only 4 days ago. So it was Brianna Jones, Nas Hillman. They're without Ryan Howard and Brittany Griner, and they lost to Brianna Jones. They lost to the Dream. Alicia Gray went crazy. She went 7 of 9 from three. Jeez. Boy, if Alicia Gray don't make MW first team. So Satu played 12 minutes, got benched. I think this is what happened. Let's just speculate for a quick second. I think this is what happened. Satu got benched. They didn't like her energy. I'm not sure what set Satu off to where she's playing with no energy on a court. 'Cause usually that's all we see from Satu on a court, right? So she's playing with no energy on the court. She gets benched. She ain't feeling that. Something just pissing her off, right? They go back, maybe run a practice or something like that. Satu doesn't show up. That's what I'm first thinking. Secondly, I'm thinking Satu is just like, hey, coach could be like, oh, I'm talking to you. Like, fuck what you talking about, coach. All right, you know what? You're not playing next game. That's the second thing that happened. Second thing I think happened. Third was like third. My third scenario is Satu made a demand or something like that from the coach or coaching staff, and it was like kind of denied. Not a trade request, but like an in-game demand. Kind of like a this isn't gonna work. We need to do this. We need to go this way. And the coaching was like, nah. And she was just like, well, F you then. That's those are the three scenarios that make the most sense to me on what could have happened. Because this is like that personal reason is really like a 1 game suspension. They won't call it that, but this is what I'm telling you. In the next CBA, these personal reasons they probably gonna be eliminated, or they're just gonna be cut way down. Because I think this is really just a 1 game suspension. Personal reasons, nah, it was a 1 game suspension. Call it what it is. It's a 1 game suspension. So yeah, there's that. I'm just looking at Alicia Gray's stats right now. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat too. Chat hasn't been too lively today, even though we got a good amount of people in the stream. Yo, Alicia Gray is averaging 18. Sorry, I'm like sniffling and everything. When I like rub my nose, I start sneezing. Like I just rub my nose once and I start sneezing. But she's averaging 18.7 points a game, 5.5 rebounds a game, 4 assists a game, 1.2 steals a game, on 44.7% shooting from the field, 40% shooting, almost 41% shooting from three, and 81% shooting from the free throw line. Alicia Gray is going to make first team W. I forget, is someone remind me, is the W first team, is W first team awards all is it position based? It's not position based, right? Huh. This is gonna be interesting. But Alicia Gray is guaranteed a spot, is she not? Alicia Gray, Alyssa Thomas, um, Kelsey Plum? I think the Kelseys make it. Kelsey Plum, Kelsey Mitchell, Nafisa. W's gonna mess around and try to throw Sabrina on first team again. Who do you put, like, who do you first team is gonna be hell. First team's gonna be hell because who's going Nafisa, Alyssa Thomas, they're locks. I don't know if Asia Wilson makes first team this season. Well, maybe she's been super quiet. I really want to get back to the damn Twitter feed. I'm sorry, guys. I want to get back to the Twitter feed, but does Asia Wilson make W first team this season? Let me check real quick. Alyssa Thomas, Nafisa Collier, Alicia Gray. That's three. There are two spots left on the first team as far as I'm concerned. There are two spots left on the first team as far as I'm concerned. Who do you all think take those last two spots? Got about 5 minutes left on the stream. Maybe we can. No, we can do. Maybe we can. Maybe we can look at. Let's look at Asia Wilson. Do we think Asia Wilson's gonna make it? What do y'all think? Because even a down year for Asia Wilson is like some people's career best years. So I'm gonna run up Asia Wilson's stats real quick. But there, as far as I'm concerned, there are only three spots open. Asia's averaging 21.3 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, 3 assists a game, 1.7 steals a game, and about 2.3 blocks per game. 48% shooting, 27% from three, 82% from the line. Who makes first team? Because there are only two spots available. There are only two spots available. All right. I think we talked about everything we needed to talk about. We talked about the trade. We talked about the injury. We talked about Satu. As I always do, I always like to scan my Twitter likes just to make sure that I talked about everything I wanted to talk about, shared some funny tweets with y'all that I saw. Hopefully the mic hasn't been too much of a bother tonight. I do recognize that I'm going to have to get a new one, and that sucks because I have so many shorts to do. Excuse me, I got so many videos to do, and now my mic has this stupid whirring in it. It's just, I understand it might be ass, so that's why I mute. All right, so we're gonna run through the Twitter feed real quick before we before we log off the live stream. Um, See if I could find anything funny for you guys, or just see if I can see any reports that I think are worth mentioning. Oh, WNBA Players of the Week. I forgot. Nafisa Collier, Western Conference. Sorry, not Players of the Week. Players of the Month. WNBA Players of the Month. Eastern Conference is Sabrina Ionescu, and Western Conference is none other than Nafisa Collier. I believe this is Nafisa Collier's third time winning Player of the Month, and this is Sabrina Ionescu's first time winning Player of the Month this season. So let me keep going. Nafisa's gonna miss 2 weeks, at least. Let's just call it at least 3 months. Oh, Emma Mieseman's debut. I mean, we actually talked about this earlier in the live stream. I did say like, I think I talked about this earlier in the live stream, right? I did say Emma Mieseman just needs more reps. She just needs more reps with the team. She's still settling with the team, so she'll be okay. I think Emma Mieseman will fit in like well with our team. She'll be okay. This person said she don't want to play and she don't want to. Oh, this person said she don't want to play no more. This was a crazy comment. She said, "What's going on with Satu?" Said she don't want to play no more. This is the third comment I seen hinting Dewana Bonner did something. I think people are just like stirring beef just to stir beef. So it's out for today's Satu out for today's game due to personal reasons. This comes one game after she was benched in the second half of the Mercury's matchup with the Atlanta Dream. So, like I said, I just think it's a one game suspension. Um, going. Liberty finally beat the Connecticut Sun thanks to Sabrina popping off. So we still got major concerns to deal with. Let's see. So one comment on here said they're trying to fit DB in, and it's making everyone else uncomfortable and taking away from Sally's shot attempts. I've never heard somebody call Satu Sally. I might start doing that. Glad we play them Thursday. Hopefully they're still beefing. I don't know who that is. I don't know what team they supporting. La, la, la. Dallas Poverty Franchise. Oh, Alyssa Pilley, 7-day contract, signed a 7-day contract with the Sparks. Positive nepotism. Great example of positive nepotism because one thing about the Sparks, they got mad guards to play. The fact that Sarah Ashley Barker and Alyssa Pilley on the same team. Sparks just doing so much with a bunch of guards. I don't. They're just stacking guards like their favorite candy, bro. I don't know what they're doing with all these guards. They need to let some of them go to another team. They could be used on another team. Shit, why didn't the Aces sign Alyssa Pilley? you need a facilitating scorer right now because I don't know what Chelsea Gray been doing these past couple games. Kelsey Plum has been on a tear. 30 on last 4 games, 30 points, 6 assists, 20 points, 8 assists, 22 points, 8 assists, 22.7 assists. Kelsey Plum been on a tear as well. Anything else on this? Lynx beat down the Aces. Yeah, y'all probably saw that too. Lynx pieced up the Aces, bro. Oh, Sonia Citron is leading all rookies this season in total clutch points scored, but for some reason, Mystics love not putting the ball in her hands at the end of the game. I got videos on that too. Cameron Brink returns. Thank God. Thank God. Shouts out Cameron Brink. We need Cameron Brink's energy in the W. A lot of players, this is where I say a lot of W players, man, y'all gotta let y'all personalities flow, man. I'm not saying everyone has to be like quiet or be like a reserve type player, but like one thing that I like about Cameron Brink and how we tell like players are box office from other players, it's like it's that energy, it's that personality. Like we know Cameron Brink steps on the floor, we're going to get that rush of energy. You know what I mean? Her personality just brings that along with her game. Like more players got to let that personality out a little bit more, man. That's what I like about Cameron Brink. The game is better with Cameron Brink in it, man. Because at least she's bringing not just entertainment, not just the skills, but she's bringing that energy, yo. Like it's exciting to watch her check into a game, you know. So I'm glad she's back. Anything else? Not really. I think we've covered everything in terms of what we needed to cover today. Yeah, see, someone said Satu, Alyssa, and Kalia Copper are great. So excuse me, are great together. And now they said they're already good, but now they gotta be learn how to be great together. It's just gonna be harder with Dewana Bonner in the mix. Cause are you always gonna keep Dewana Bonner on the bench? Is that gonna be her role? Didn't Dewana leave Indiana because she didn't want to be on the bench? Actually, hold on. Hold on. Why y'all talking about beefing? Hold on. Hold on. Is it hold on. Let me think. Let me think. Let me brain blast. Hold on. Who started? Let's see who started in the game Satu didn't play. Hold on. Because I don't know how much I believe in like they're like these players are beefing like Dewana Bonner has a problem with Satu. I'm not sure if I believe that, but I just want to see something. I just want to see something. Okay. Got it. She didn't start. She didn't start. But this also might be a false flag because the Mercury were playing the Sky, and the Sky have Camila Cardoso, so they would have no big. So they have to. They kind of had to start Kalani Brown. They kind of had to start Kalani Brown. You know what I mean? Because you're going up against 6'7" Camilla. So Dewana Bonner is still coming off the bench. Hasn't she come off the bench like the last couple of games? Isn't she still not a starter? So Dewana's cool with. Dewana's cool with. All right. All right, let me check out before we get out of here. Let me check out Dewana Bonner's past couple games because I know she hasn't been like going too crazy, but I think she's been decent in terms of her new role. Let me see what Dewana Bonner been doing. Let me see what she been doing. Let me see what she been. I say okay. Preview Indiana acquired by. Is this after she was acquired by Phoenix? 9 games, right? So why can't I see? Oh, there you go. There you go. 6 right there. 7, 8, 9. Okay, there it is. All right, so she had a 22-11 game against the Valks. She had an 18-2 game against Atlanta, 11-1 against Minnesota, and then since then has been single-digit scoring and some ass field goal percentages. Yeah, so the funny thing is you. Let me say this again, bro. You heard it here first. You all have constantly heard it here first. Y'all gotta give me some credit, man. It's not that I'm looking for credit, but y'all gotta give me some credit. I did say if Dewana changes and goes to Phoenix, which I told y'all I don't even think is a good idea because they already have 3 stars there. If she goes to Phoenix, now she has to contend for a starting spot. Do we even know if she gets that starting spot? How do we know she's not going to change the same role? Maybe she's going to get more minutes, sure, but she's going to have the same exact role that she did in Indiana in Phoenix. Right? And then I also said, yo, if that does happen where she has to like fight for her role now, has to fight for her starting spot back, she's probably going to have a better chance of doing that in Indiana, or she probably had a better chance of doing that in Indiana than Phoenix. Because how are you going to fight off Kalia Copper? You're definitely not moving Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, and Santu out of the lineup. You're not going to do that. And what they've been developing Phoenix has actually been very potent because some of their guards are playing well. Damn near Phoenix is almost transforming into the San Antonio Spurs the way they've signed this talent, this unknown talent that has actually been helping them. Captain Westbrook has been hooping. Makani has been hooping. Lexi Held has been hooping. I think Lexi Held has been on injury, correct? Hopefully I'm not messing up her name. But now here, and what did I say, bro? I said all of this. Y'all can't tell me I didn't. I did say if Dewana Bonner ends up she's probably going to end up in the same exact position. She either fights for a starting spot in Indiana or rides the bench in Phoenix. But here's the thing. If she ends up riding the bench in Phoenix, she can't say anything, which is why I completely said, well, why I just didn't understand why the hell she want to go to Phoenix. You're not going to get anything in Phoenix. You're going to get the exact same situation. And you know what? If you do end up in Phoenix and you do get that exact situation, you can't say anything. You can't complain. So it's not even like a congratulations, you played yourself. It's more so like, yo, are you happy? Like, you can't complain. Like, look at these numbers. Look at what you're doing in 20 plus minutes off the bench. You're consistently getting 20 plus minutes off the bench. You're not really doing much. In Indiana, you were getting about kind of the same. 20 plus minutes, 27, 16, 19, 23, 25, 22. 21, 19, 20. You're getting more minutes with Phoenix, obviously, but you're getting that same 20 plus minutes off the bench, and look what you're doing. So now guess what Dewana Bonner can say? Oh, you didn't like the fit in Indiana. You said you weren't quitting. Okay, whatever you want to say. Call it what you want.
What's up with Phoenix? What's up with Phoenix? What are we doing in Phoenix? Is this the role you wanted? Hell no, it wasn't the role you wanted. Hell no, it wasn't the role you wanted. But guess what? Now you got a muzzle on because you can't say nothing because you already forced your way out of Indiana. So even though it's not a congratulations, you played yourself. Congratulations, you played yourself, bruh. I'm not even asking it like I'm trying to be negative. It's just like, are you happy now? I literally said this. I literally keep telling y'all this. This is why the motto of this channel is you heard it here first. I said, are you weighing the worst case scenarios between these places? Because I don't think you truly are. Because if you are, then you understand you're not really changing anything other than maybe your own comfort. Well, you're not changing anything in terms of like you're on the court, play. And that's all we're talking about anyway, because we don't really care about but we also don't like talk about or involve some the off court life. I'm more so I'm mainly, if not only, concerned about the hoops. And I said I don't think you're weighing the worst case scenarios between these options because you're not changing anything. If the change is for the hoops, you're not changing anything. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say on all that. I think this was that's all I have to say. Yeah, that's why again I'm just not convinced with Phoenix. And then if Satu's gonna be pouting for the rest of the season, why would I take Phoenix seriously? You feel me? Anyway, that's gonna do it for this live stream, man. Let me check the chat one time. I appreciate y'all checking out the chat, checking out the chat, checking out the live stream, kicking it with me. I know it's one of those late night live streams. Again, it's 1 a.m. But again, it's summertime. Hopefully you guys are chilling. Hopefully you're not, stressing too much, even if you are working. Take time to relax. Take some days for yourself. Life is going by very quickly these days. These past few years, hell, life. I think the Earth has been spinning faster. I'm not gonna lie, but take some time for yourselves. Take some time with your family. Be around people you love, people you care about, man. Seriously, like time is actually flying. So I do appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me tonight, engaging with the content, dropping likes, subscribing, all the stuff you guys do. Chat wasn't lively tonight, but that's okay. Like I appreciate everyone who's just in the room listening to the conversation. And once again, listening to me yap. But that's going to do it for this live stream. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy, Hendrix. I'm out of here. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe. Stay blessed. I'm out of here. Peace.